St. Luke's Magic Valley painted a rather desperate picture of what is happening there, with some patients being sent to Boise to get medical attention. And he hopes if this trend continues, St. Luke's doesn't have to resort to crisis standards of care. The health board did vote to limit public gatherings to fewer than 50 people last night, but they were not comfortable implementing a mask mandate without consulting other county commissioners. That lack of leadership got the attention of a lot of people, including one elected official. Representative Lori Likely from Jerome spoke with Dr. Kern after that meeting last night and decided enough was enough. So she posted a video plea to her Twitter page. She told us today she's never been scared of the virus, but has always taken it seriously. She just feels it's time to step up those sentiments.
I admit that I've not taken COVID-19 seriously enough. Our son has healed from this, we think. It did take 5 months.
Why is it taking you so long to take it seriously enough?
I think we all got complacent. During the summer months, we were all outdoors and, we thought we would see a decline in our coronavirus numbers. And many of us got complacent, and I'll own that. I think it resonated yesterday when I had a conversation with Dr. Kern that somebody needed, in the elected branch, needed to step up and say, it's time to make a difference. We need to set a good example and take this very seriously. Stepping forward and asking people to take seriously is the last thing that I really wanted to do. It's become political from a local to a national level, and it can no longer be political.
Why ask people to take it seriously? Why would that be the last thing you'd want to do? Why wouldn't that be the first thing that you'd want to do?
Well, and that's a great question. Quite frankly, I thought that we would all rally around our medical community and our experts during coronavirus and listen to those that have years and years and years of experience working in the medical field. That has not happened. Therefore, at this time, I knew it was my time to step up and say, let's take this seriously. And if we don't, we're going to see, considerable reduction in hospital capacity. The time was now for me to step up. This is the right thing to do. I will own what Dr. Kern, Vice President of Medical Affairs at St. Luke's, suggested today, that we, as your elected officials, are afraid to step up and take responsibility. Well, today, I am stepping up and taking responsibility, and I challenge my colleagues to do the same.
Haven't more of them done that, I think?
Because it has been a political football, and I think it has become a Republican versus Democrat issue. And many of my Republican colleagues are afraid to step up and support the recommendations of wearing a mask and keeping 6 foot of distance and washing our hands and, hand sanitizer. I believe in your freedoms and liberties guaranteed by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. With that freedom and liberty comes personal responsibility, a responsibility to protect the health and safety of our neighbors, loved ones, our friends, our communities.
Why was it important to mention that?
Well, I think that we see Idaho a significant amount of pressure on our freedoms and our liberties. And it goes without saying that the Constitution and the Bill protect those, but they also protect freedoms and liberties of our friends and our families. And it's time that we step up and help protect freedoms and liberties across the board.
Do you wish you had done it sooner?
I do wish I'd have stepped up just a little bit sooner, absolutely. And I did step up back in March after our son had tested positive. I did step up and make a public statement at that point. However, again, I think that, I didn't take it as seriously as maybe I needed to over the last couple of months, thinking that this would just go away and that not that the coronavirus would go away, but the polarization and the politicizing of coronavirus go away, and it hasn't. And I had enough yesterday after I talked to Dr. Kern, where he challenged the elected leaders to stand up and lead.
Which is what she chose to do today. And it's true, Likely is running for election this November, although unopposed, so it would be an easy thing to finally put herself out like this, right? Well, she told us she didn't decide to do it today because it was easy, but because it was the right thing to do. She told us she's gotten mixed reaction to her video. As for her son, he's 23 years old, and it took him about 2 months for his sense of taste to come back, and 3 months his sense of smell and his lung capacity to where they were before he contracted COVID. But as Representative Likely made clear today, it shouldn't take someone you care about getting virus for you to start to care about protecting those you don't know. It's not too late to step up, listen to health experts, and do the right thing. Nope, not how anyone expected Boise State football season to start off, in a subdued Alton Stadium. But at least be completely empty. You know what is empty? Our inbox. So send your questions, your comments, and your complaints to 208. That number, 208-321-5614. Make sure to leave your name and the hashtag the 208. We'll read some of yours at the end of the show. You know, if it weren't for COVID, well, there's a lot of regrettable conclusions to that sentence starter we could list right now. But when it comes to college football, if it weren't for COVID, by now the Boise State Broncos would have been almost to the halfway point of their season. Florida State traveled more than 2,500 miles to lose on the blue, probably, in front of a sold-out crowd. We would have Broncos travel to West Virginia to take on Marshall. And if it weren't COVID, one of our sports guys here at KTVB, a whole lot of fans would be on a plane to Honolulu today for the originally scheduled game against Hawaii this Saturday. Because of COVID,